And we have a flood alert, amber alert, traffic alert. Those of us who are in San Antonio, our phones did not go off. So what's inside the bag is all of your paperwork. And we start with your itinerary.
110? Yeah.
So everything that is going to be in your app electronically is in your itinerary. So if we booked your airfare, your air details are listed in here. If we're taking care of your hotel or your tours or your cruise, all of that information is in this printout, but everything in this printout is going to be on your phone and at your fingertips, okay? So this is a paper version of it, but we will continue to update the information on the app moving forward. But this is just so that you have at least, some of us like that, I have something in my hands that I can look at, but some of the information will be updated as we go along. The thing that's behind that is your guest ticket booklet for the cruise. Because we are all in fact planning on getting on the boat, right?
Yes.
Yes. Not that we don't love Rome, but the boat is the whole purpose of this magical. So I use Tom and Sherry's as an example. This has your specific information for your cabin in it. Some of the information in it you're gonna see is standard for everybody, right? The cancellation penalties, what they'll arrest you for, what they'll kick you off the boat for, how much alcohol you can bring on board, right? So the rules are the same, but it has all of the information, your cabin number, your reservation number, everything that you would need. And this is what you want to bring with you on the trip. And then who here has already done their online check-in? A couple folks?
Yeah, I gotta do that.
So if you have not done, who here has never done online check-in? And you're looking at me like, So I want to be honest, you don't have to do online check-in. If you show up at the port and they haven't heard from you since you made your final payment, they will put you on the boat. But you're gonna get in the long line of folks and you're gonna have to fill out all the information standing there, and you're gonna watch everybody else getting on the ship to run to the buffet, and you're gonna be stuck sitting there filling out your little cards. So the faster way to do it is to check in online, and I just wanna show you really quick. So if you go to Royal Caribbean site, which we're gonna hope is gonna work, there we go. And you click on already booked. You're gonna see here where it says log in. Now, I can log into mine. And when I log in, what you're going to see is this is how you can book your specialty dining in advance if you want to, do additional excursions, buy your beverage package in advance if you're going to do one. And if you're going to do a beverage package, if you know absolutely that you're going to do it, you're trying to tell people that you don't drink enough to need it, but you know you're gonna buy one anyway, buy it before we get on the ship because the price on the ship is gonna be higher, okay?
Yeah, I have a question about the password. Are they going to ask you to make up a password?
Yes, if you've never registered before, you would be able to make up your own, or what you can do is you don't have to sign in, you can pull up your specific cruise with just your reservation number, your last name, the date of the sailing, which is July 28th, and the name of the ship. So you don't have to have that. But when you come in here, you'll be able to do your online check-in as well as any of those additional purchases. To do your online check-in, you're gonna need to have your passport handy and whatever credit card you want to use to set up your onboard account. If you don't use a credit card, they're going to require you to put down cash when you get on board, or you won't be able to sign anything to your room. Do not give them a debit card, because if you give them a debit card, they're gonna pre-charge and put a hold, usually for about $500 just to start, okay? So it's one thing if they run a quick pre-authorization against your credit card, whatever, but you don't want them holding money against your debit card. So when you go in here and you do your online check-in, don't give them a debit card number, even if that's what you want to use, because once you get on board, you can always change it, okay? So you can give them a credit card for the moment, and then if you really want it to come out of your bank account at the end, the day before we get off the boat, you go down to guest registration, guest services, and you have them move it over to that card. But you don't want to give them a debit card up front because they're going to hold money back.
Can we change our dining time also?
Yes, I have submitted the request based upon what everybody emailed me. So if it's different in your packet, don't worry about it, because I submitted the group request on the 23rd. So when you get on board, your card will tell you what your dining time is, and then when I get on the ship, the first thing I do is I go to the dining room and I make them show me where we're all sitting, and I have a wonderful, charming conversation with them to make sure that that's how it's really gonna work, and we bring little signs to put on the table. For this group, we have some folks who want the early dining and some folks who want the late. So for each group, what I'm gonna have them do is everybody who wants early dining, you'll all be in one section together. Everybody who wants late dining, you'll all be in one section together. And the way that they'll do it is what they call round robin, which is the first night, you'll sit at whatever your assigned table is. Every night after that, you can move around within our tables. So if you want to sit with somebody different, or the folks that you usually sit with aren't there that night and you want to move over, that's absolutely fine. So we try and do it so that we get maximum flexibility, because we've got a big group, and even if you sit with your friends, you might want to sit with somebody else one night, or somebody, might not feel like going to dinner, and then somebody ends up sitting by themselves. So we try and make sure that it works. The other thing is, even if you have a dining time, if you don't want to go at that time that day, or you want to go to a specialty restaurant, or you're my boyfriend, husband, and you want to go to the buffet every night, you can do that, okay? There's nothing that says that because you have a dining time, if you go somewhere else, they're not going to feed you. There is nothing but food on these ships. They are going to feed you wherever you roll into. So don't worry about that. It's about just having something you know and you can count on. And then if you want to do something different, that's absolutely fine.